Great. I think we're live. Little bit of a technical issue to start, so I hope that's not a bad sign for the rest of the night, but welcome. I'm just going to get this link tweeted out, see if anyone else wants to join us tonight. How's everyone been the last couple weeks? I've had kind of an up and down couple of weeks. My husband and I are thinking about buying a house or building a house, which is a lot. It's definitely a time in my life when I never thought I'd be able to do either, so it's a lot to consider, but kind of exciting. I think my toddler is almost ready to start potty training, so that's also a lot. I don't really want to have to do that, but it's happening. They grow up. Who knew? If you are new with us, we usually give people about 5 minutes to join in. So just sit tight. If you haven't registered yet for this week, you can fill out the registration link in the description below. That just helps us set up the answer sheets and everything. Still haven't cleaned my office. At this point, maybe I'll just wait till we move into the new place. I hardly ever get to use it down here anyway because my husband has taken it over since he's working from home. So yes, happy belated birthday to Daphne, IDC's fearless founder and leader. We will be celebrating her, and she gave me a list of some of her favorite programs and photos from over the years. So not every question is related to Daphne's favorites, but they'll be sprinkled in throughout the questions tonight. It definitely helped me a lot to have kind of a bank to choose questions from. Especially as we're both getting to the point where I think of something and realize I've already asked that one. So I don't know if you guys remember every single question that I've asked in the past 7 weeks. I'm not really feeling this background music with lyrics, so Yes, getting into Daphne's head is tough. I have known the wonderful Daphne for 13 years this week, essentially, or next week, because we met in 2007 at the Lake Placid Ice Dance Championships. Which unfortunately and obviously are canceled this year. So we have some special content, retrospective, fun stuff we'll be releasing next week, along with our long-awaited Ice Dance Rewind show. So yeah, even though we're far apart, we're still trying to reminisce and take some time. It's extra sad for me because I missed last year's Lake Placid due to a conflict. I was booked for another competition in California where I lived at the time. And so I haven't been back to Lake Placid in 2 years, which just breaks the heart, I tell you. And I was really looking forward to going back this year and hopefully bringing my husband because he's never been there, and our baby girl. 2 years ago in Lake Placid, Daphne took my maternity photos, so I was really hoping to take a photo with her in like the same spot, but we'll have to wait till next year, I guess. I was supposed to be in Sun Valley this week, which has also become a pretty special place for me. They have a summer event, some like traditional competitive skating, also solo dance, also a lot of showcase skating, which they do on the outdoor rink on Sunday, which is always a lot of fun. After at the end of a 5-day competition, freezing, cold most of the time, it's really nice to sit outside in the sun and photograph. They usually do like the humorous programs in the showcase track on Sunday. So anyway, let's get started. Welcome to Ice Dance Trivia. If you are new, thanks so much for joining us, and thank you to so many of our regulars who come back every week. We have so much fun putting this event together for you guys and also connecting with you, even if it's just in the chat. It's still definitely something that I look forward to every 2 weeks. So if you haven't registered, you can still send in your team name just to give us an idea of how many teams to watch out for, especially in the first round. And let's go over how this works. Teams are great. Feel free to play in a team. If you don't have a team this time and you want to invite some friends next time, that's fantastic. Also, feel free to play by yourself, however you want to roll. If you play in a team, we ask that you keep the teams to a maximum of 6 people. To submit answers, you will use the Google form, which is, it's in the video description below. There's a different one for each round, so just make sure that you click on the form for the correct round each time. And just if you're on a team, just designate one person to submit answers. At the top of each form, you will put your team name or your real name or your alias or whatever you want to play under. We don't collect your email address or IP address or anything like that, so just make sure you're putting the same thing each time so we can keep score. We will play 3 rounds plus a final question that's a little more involved. The rounds are general trivia, music trivia, and picture IDs. You do not lose any points for wrong answers until you get to the final question. We'll go over the rules for the final question again once we get there. And when you're identifying teams, it's fine to just put last names. And finally, most importantly, don't cheat. Just use the extensive library of knowledge in your wonderful brains instead of making this a look things up on the internet game. Okay, so let's play round one. I will give you about a minute and a half between each question to think and or confer with your teammates if you're playing on a team. And then I'll give you a little bit of additional time at the end. So if you need to take notes or anything, if there's a question you're unsure of, you'll have a little more time at the end of the round to consider. Question one. Who is the only U.S. team that has won national titles 5 years apart without winning any titles in between? Who is the only U.S. team that has won national titles 5 years apart without winning any titles in between? Question two. Which 3 Canadian cities have hosted the World Championships since 2000? Which 3 Canadian cities have hosted the World Championships since 2000? Obviously, this is not including Montreal, which did not actually host the World Championships this year. But it's fine. I'm over it. Question 3. Which Which Russian ice dancer won 5 world championship medals with 2 different partners? This dancer won the medals over a span of 7 years, and 2 were gold. Which Russian ice dancer won 5 world championship medals with 2 different partners? This dancer won the medals over a span of 7 years, and 2 were gold. Question 4. Which notable team debuted on the Junior Grand Prix with a last place finish? Just 5 years later, they were one of the top teams in the world. Which notable team debuted on the Junior Grand Prix with a last place finish? Just 5 years later, they were one of the top teams in the world. Moving on to question 5. Which team, plagued by injuries in their last few seasons, competed together for about 15 years? They went to 2 Olympic Games, finishing in the top 10 both times, and retired after winning a bronze medal at Worlds in their home country. They are the only ice dance world medalists from their country in the past 40 years. Which team, plagued by injuries in their last few seasons, competed together for about 15 years? They went to 2 Olympic Games, finishing in the top 10 both times, and retired after winning a bronze medal at Worlds in their home country. They are the only ice dance world medalists from their country in the past 40 years. Question number 6. Name the year. If we have anyone new, I always end round 1 with a name the year. I'll give you 4 things that occurred during a single calendar year. For example, 1895. So just name the single 4-digit year, not the season. So we don't want like the 1895 to 96 season. We want just the actual calendar year. So, name the year. Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nikolai Sorensen competed at their first Worlds, finishing 29th. Ilinik and Zhiganshin qualified for the Grand Prix final. The reigning U.S. champion did not compete at Skate America, but Chalk and Bates and the Shibutanis still took the top 2 places. And Tatiana Navka's second daughter was born. Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nikolai Sorensen competed at their first Worlds, finishing 29th. Ilinik and Zhiganshin qualified for the Grand Prix final. The reigning U.S. champion did not compete at Skate America, but Chalk and Bates and the Shibutanis still took the top 2 places, and Tatiana Navka's second daughter was born. All right, it is time to submit your answers. I'll give you guys about 3 minutes to finish making your choices and conferring with your teammates. Just make sure you use the round 1 answer sheet below the video in the description. And make sure you put the team name at the top that you're going to use for the entire event. About another minute. All right, go ahead and submit your answers. We will go over the correct answers in just a moment. All right, it's time to go over the answers from round 1. Number 1, who is the only U.S. team that has won national titles 5 years apart without winning any titles in between? And that is our current reigning U.S. champions, Madison Chaka and Evan Bates. They won their first title in 2015 and their second title just this past January. Question number 2. Which 3 Canadian cities have hosted the World Championships since 2000? Obviously not including Montreal, which would have been the 4th. The cities are Vancouver, the 2001 World Championships, Calgary hosted in 2006, and London hosted in 2013. Hopefully Montreal will get another chance in just a couple years. Number 3, which Russian ice dancer won 5 World Championship medals with 2 different partners? This dancer won the medals over a span of 7 years, and 2 were gold. And that would be Angelika Krylova. She won a bronze in 1993 with Fedorov. And then with Ovsyannikov, she won 4 medals, including gold in 98 and 99. Number 4, which notable team debuted on the Junior Grand Prix with a last place finish? Just 5 years later, they were one of the top teams in the world. Part of the reason why we at IceDance.com never skip any teams. Daphne was there for this one, so I wrote this question knowing that Gabriela Papadakis and Guillaume Cizeron began their junior career with a last place, I think 15th place finish at the Junior Grand Prix Lake Placid in 2009. And by fall 2014, they were qualifying for the Senior Grand Prix final. So, you never know. Question number 5. Which team, plagued by injuries in their last few seasons, competed together for about 15 years? They went to 2 Olympic Games, finishing in the top 10 both times, and retired after winning a bronze medal at Worlds in their home country. They are the only ice dance world medalists from their country in the past 40 years. And the answer is Kati Winkler and Renee Losa. They won the bronze medal at 2004 Worlds in Dortmund and then retired. And finally, number 6, name the year. Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nikolai Sorensen competed at their first Worlds, finishing 29th. Elanik and Giganshin qualified for the Grand Prix final. The reigning U.S. champion did not compete at Skate America, but Chalk and Bates and the Shibutanis still took the top 2 places. And Tatiana Napka's second daughter was born. If you're new, I usually have a so-and-so was born question for the fourth fact, but I don't know any 6-year-old ice dancers at this time, so I had to go with an ice dance baby, and the year was 2014. Okay, moving on to round 2. Music identification. Once again, we'll have 6 questions, and they are worth 6 points each. No audio clips this week. Obviously, if you played with us in the first couple challenges, we were trying to do audio clips. It presented some technical difficulties, so we're not doing audio clips anymore. Until maybe I move to a new house with a blazing fast internet. And so we'll have 6 questions. They are music or program identifications. You'll name the team, the music, or the artist, depending on the question. And question 1. Which romantic classical composer wrote piano concertos commonly used in singles and pair skating, but less often in ice dance? Madison Chalk and Evan Bates and Avonlea Nguyen and Vadim Kolesnik have used his music recently. Which romantic classical composer wrote piano concertos commonly used in singles and pair skating, but less often in ice dance? Madison Chalk and Evan Bates and Avonlea Nguyen and Vadim Kolesnik have used his music recently. Name the composer. And by romantic, I mean the time period of romantic music, not romantic like kissy faces. Moving on to question 2. Which team used disco music from Saturday Night Fever in their rhythm dance last season? Which team used disco music from Saturday Night Fever in their rhythm dance last season? 2019 to 2020 season. Question number 3. Which team's 2017 to 18 free dance used music by Japanese film composer Ryuichi Sakamoto? Together with the costuming, the dance was meant to portray cherry blossoms blooming. Which team's 2017 to 18 free dance used music by Japanese film composer Ryuichi Sakamoto? Together with the costuming, the dance was meant to portray cherry blossoms blooming. I did really try to learn how to say that name, but I think I still failed. I apologize. Question 4. Which team's only senior season was highlighted by a free dance to music from the 1996 Great Expectations film? They won a bronze medal at the 2000 Four Continents Championships. Which team's only senior season was highlighted by a free dance to music from the 1996 Great Expectations film? They won a bronze medal at the 2000 Four Continents Championships. Oh, question. Is it 2000 or 2004? It's 2000. I apologize. Oh, I meant to say 2000 Four Continents Championships. But I may have said 2004 Four Continents. So it is, the year on the screen is correct. 2000. That's hard to say. I'll give you another minute for that because I didn't see the question at first. Okay, moving on to question 5. Which U.S. team told a story of a dead couple coming back to life with their Danse Macabre program in the 2014-15 season? Which U.S. team told a story of a dead couple coming back to life with their Danse Macabre program in the 2014-15 season? Sorry about the sirens. I live down the block from a fire station. Okay, question 6. In their first season together, Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nikolai Sorensen had a free dance set to music by which musician? Their coaches, choreographers used the same music the following season for Julien Séguin and Charlie Bilodeau's free skate. In their first season together, Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nikolai Sorensen had a free dance set to music by which musician? Their coaches, choreographers used the same music the following season for Julien Séguin and Charlie Bilodeau's free skate. All right, I will give you about 3 more minutes to ponder and submit your answers. Make sure you use the round 2 form linked in the description below, and make sure you put the same team name at the top of the form. About a minute left. Okay, go ahead and submit if you have not yet. We'll go over the answers in just a moment. Okay, I think we have everyone. So round 2. Question 1, which romantic, capital R romantic, classical composer wrote piano concertos commonly used in singles and pair skating, but less often in ice dance? Madison Chalk and Evan Bates and Avonlea Nguyen and Vadim Kolesnik have used his music recently. And the answer is Sergei Rachmaninoff. Question number 2. Which team used disco music from Saturday Night Fever in their rhythm dance last season? Quite a memorable program from last season. Caitlin Hawaiiak and Jean-Luc Baker. Question number 3. Which team's 2017-18 free dance used music by Japanese film composer Ryuichi Sakamoto? Together with the costuming, the dance was meant to portray cherry blossoms blooming. And that was Kana Miyamoto and Chris Reed. Question number 4. Which team's only senior season was highlighted by a free dance to music from the 1996 Great Expectations film? They won a bronze medal at the 2000 Four Continent Championships. And that was Jamie Silverstein and Justin Pekarik. if you've been around ice dance for a while, especially in the U.S., they are still remembered as quite an exceptionally talented team. Question number 5. Which U.S. team told the story of a dead couple coming back to life with their Danse Macabre program in the 2014-15 season? That's one that when Daphne was trying to think of programs that she, loved or were memorable over the years, I was like, oh, what about this one? Because if anyone loves a zombie-esque program, it's Daphne. That was Anastasia Canuccio and Colin McManus. And question 6. In their first season together, Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nikolai Sorensen had a free dance set to music by which musician? Their coaches' choreographers used the same music the following season for Julien Seguin and Charlie Bilodeau's free skate. Little subtle call out to some program recycling there. And that was music by Peter Gabriel. In Your Eyes, and I don't remember what the other piece of music was, which was why I asked about the musician and not to name the pieces that I couldn't remember. All right, so I'm going to check in for a score update. I think we are all set for the scores after 2 rounds. Out of a total possible 72 points, we have one team in the lead with 72 points. Lubov deserves better. Perfect score so far. With 60 points, tied for second place, Maybelle and Tango Platonica. I super love that name. That's amazing. In fourth place with 54 points, Debbie S. Tied with 52 points, so very close. We have All About Latin, Figure Skaters Online, and the Fin Steps. And tied with 48 points, also very close, Amanda, LLT, and Chalk Bates fan. And then with 42 points, we have Catherine. Awesome. So let's get set for round 3. This is picture identification. Once again, we have 6 photos, and they are worth 6 points each. I'll show you 6 photos, one at a time with the faces blurred, one at a time to start, and then at the end you'll have all 6 together. I will give you the season that the photo was taken. You name the team, and I promise there's no compulsories. All right, so photo number 1 from the 2017-18 season. I believe Daphne picked all of the photos for the photo round this time, which was a huge help. Because when I choose them, I go down rabbit holes, and I end up spending all my time looking through old photos from competitions instead of just choosing 6. All right, photo number 2 from the 2011-12 season. Photo number 3 from this past season, the 2019-20 season. Photo number 4 from the 2012-13 season. This is a junior team. Photo number 5 from the 2013-14 season. Photo number 6 from the 2009-10 season. I forgot to turn on all the lights, and so it's just slowly getting darker and darker in here. Sorry about that. All right, here are all 6 photos. We'll give you about 3 more minutes. You can submit whenever you're ready. Just make sure you click on the round 3 form and use the same team name. If I ever start using 3 different monitors at once, I'll be able to turn off my video while you're looking at the screen, but for now you're stuck with me. About another minute. Okay, so time to submit. If you haven't yet, we're going to move on to the answers very shortly. Okay, time to go over the answers for round 3, photos. Photo number 1 from the 2017-18 season. An iconic moment from the Je suis malade free dance by Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Poget, of course. Photo number 2 from the 2011-12 season. This was a samba from Nathalie Pechola and Fabien Borza. Can't forget those green pants. Just can't. Photo number 3 from the 2019-20 season, a recent memory. I tried to, I didn't desaturate the hair when I blurred out the faces, so perhaps the hair was a bit of a giveaway. It was Tiffany Zagorski and Jonathan Guerrero. She is definitely hair goals for me. But I haven't been to the salon since March, so this is what you get. Photo number 4 from the 2012-13 season. This was a junior team. Again, a clue is that Daphne loves all the zombie programs. Lorraine McNamara and Quinn Carpenter with their Ramalama program. Photo number 5 from the 2013-14 season. This was Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier with their Hitchcock free dance. And finally, photo number 6 from the 2009-2010 season, a true stumper. Daphne even stumped me. I freely admit that. Also with a Ramalama program, I believe. This was Zoe Blanc and Pierre-Loup Bouquet, a French team that Daphne took this photo at Skate America that year, I believe. So, definitely a tough one. I'm not sure if anyone got that right. Maybe one. But if you haven't seen any of their programs, they're a good time. Definitely very French. So, let me check in with the scores. Okay, still in first with 96 points, we have Lubov Deserves Better. But closing in with 90 points, tied for second, Maybelle and Tango Platonica. 72 points, fourth place, Debbie S. 70 points, fifth place, All About Latin. Oh, wait. These are not in order. Sorry, forget the places. All right, so the first 3 are still the same. Lubov Deserves Better, Maybelle, and Tango Platonica, with 96, 90 points, and 90 points, respectively. In fourth place with 84 points, Amanda. In fifth place with 76 points, The Finn Steps. 72 points, Debbie S. 70 points, All About Latin. Tied with 66 points, Chalk Bates fan and Catherine. 64 points, Figure Skaters Online, and 60 points, Linda Loves Twizzles. Sorry about that, I went just a little too fast before the results were sorted. So, all that's left now is our final question. I think everyone has played before, but just in case, there will be multiple answers to this question. You will get 2 points for every correct answer, but you will lose 1 point for every wrong answer. So think about your strategy. And I'll give you about 5 minutes for this one. Name the teams that have won the Grand Prix final, including the Champion Series final, more than once. So the first, I think just the first year, it was called the Champion Series final. So including that year, it was still essentially the same competition. So name the teams that have won the Grand Prix final more than once. About a minute left. All right, go ahead and submit if you haven't done so yet. Sorry about leaning awkwardly into the camera. I have that like touch bar on my screen. I couldn't remember if I never remember if I have this slide in here for the final question, the time to submit one, because I think I forgot it one time. Anyway. All right, we're gonna go over the answers to this one. Name the teams that have won the Grand Prix final, including when it was called the Champion Series final, more than once. So the first team that won more than one was Grishik and Platov. Born and Kretz also won more than one, which I always find interesting because they only won Worlds once, and they didn't win Worlds. They didn't win the Grand Prix final the year they won Worlds, but they won the Grand Prix final twice. And that was back when things didn't move around as much. Nafka and Kostomarov won several times. Davis and White have the record. They won five times, I think. Now I can't remember if it's 4 or 5. I think it's 5. Weaver and Poirier won twice in a row. And Papadakis and Cizeron have won twice. So, there we have it. I think a few people guessed Bertu and Moyer because they're always a good trivia answer, but they actually only won once. They only won in 2017. Which I was there for. Grand Prix final is, in many ways, it's my favorite competition to attend. I love having the juniors there too, and it's really intense because, it's a flight or 2 flights of amazing skating, and then literally just 20 minutes, and then another flight. And depending on where the media room is and where the photo spots are, there can be a lot of running back and forth. But we train for that at Canadians, so I didn't find it as overwhelming on my first one as I think some other people do. There's your fun fact while we're working on the scores. As always, thanks for playing. We'll have the scores in just a few moments. Thanks for joining us. It's really great to connect think some weeks I feel more hopeful than others that I'll ever see skating again. But until then, we're happy to do this. Obviously, I'm sure most of you have heard that the Junior Grand Prix is officially canceled. Not terribly surprising decision. I fear we'll have more of that in the weeks to come, more cancellations. So we're happy to keep this going and have a fun way to connect and think about skating. We're trying to experiment with more ways. We don't have a plan yet, but I do think we're going to premiere the first episode of our Ice Dance Rewind show next week. So that'll be fun. Maybe we'll do some other fun stuff in the weeks to come too. All right, I think we are all set. Oh gosh, I missed all the chat things. Yes, some of you have gone to Grand Prix finals as well. The other reason why I love Grand Prix finals is because I like going when they're in interesting places that I want to visit anyway, because the competition doesn't start super early in the morning. So the first trip I ever took with my boyfriend, who's now my husband, was to the Grand Prix final in Barcelona in 2014. He invited himself on the trip with me on our third date. And I thought he was nuts. He is nuts, but I married him anyway. So, Ramalama is Royce and Murphy. I'll type it. Oh, Daphne's got me. Yeah, I think we have scores. So, and we did have a few perfect scores from the final round. Excellent work. In first place with 108 points, holding the lead every round until the final round, we have Lubov Deserves Better. In second place, we have a tie, as they have been tied every single round with 102 points. Maybell and Tango Platonica. All of those three aced the final round. In fourth place with 92 points, we have Amanda. In fifth place with 82 points, The Fin Steps. 78 points, Debbie S. 76 points, Figure Skaters Online. 73 points, All About Latin. 72 points, Catherine. 70 points, Chalk Bates Fan. And Linda Loves Twizzles tied with 70 points. So, thanks for playing. That is true. We still haven't done Juniors Week. That is coming. I feel like I've used a lot of the easier junior questions, though, so I'm going to need to do some deep prep. Don't worry. I'm into it. I'll get there. Yeah. So I don't know if we'll do that next time, or if we'll do something else. I don't know. We might do like a general Europe. We might do a Russia. Yeah. We've got options. Yes, but we will definitely do Juniors Week at some point. I just, I feel like it's going to take me a longer amount of time to put together. But maybe I'll stop procrastinating and get started ahead of time instead of waiting until Saturday. So, yeah, have a great week, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Keep an eye on our channels for some more fun stuff, and hope to talk to you all soon.